Germany is already prepared for war with Russia and has even developed a secret plan in case of a Russian invasion. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, in his New Year's address to the nation, directly called on Germans to arm themselves and prepare for a major war. After all, Russia has not abandoned its plan to revive the empire. And right away I want to quote Friedrich Merz. Germany is a great country that has overcome crises more than once. Stronger. Let's be guided not by anxiety but by confidence in our own strength. This could be a decisive year for our country and for Europe, a year of returning to decades of peace, freedom and prosperity. At the same time, Politico reports that Germany has prepared a confidential action plan in case of a military conflict with Russia within NATO. The document outlines a 5-stage escalation model, and according to its authors, Germany is currently at the first stage. This means identifying threats and preparing logistics. Now let's go through this document together. My name is Alexei Pichi. Let's discuss this topic together. But before we start, I ask you to subscribe to this channel, give it a like, and don't forget to leave your comment. Also, subscribe to my Telegram channel, Pichi News. The link is in the description of this video. Friends, you know that I analyze a lot of facts every day, but today I want to talk to you about feelings on the channel of my favorite psychologist. Without false modesty, I'll say I watched the video with great interest about January 1st as the day of collective digital hangover. We haven't even woken up yet and we're already overwhelmed by the news. So, the video that I strongly recommend you watch is exactly about how to simply remain human when the world around you is slowly going crazy. That's the best thing you can do for your mind. Today, January 1st, the link to the video is in the description of this video and in the pinned comment, and it also appears on your screens. So go ahead, check it out, and send regards to the creator from our channel. So, it has become known that German military planners are warning that recent cyber attacks, sabotage, and disinformation campaigns are the first salvo of a new war. This is stated in a confidential government document reviewed by Politico. This assessment is outlined in an operational plan for Germany, which is a plan for how Berlin would organize the defense of German territory in the event of a major conflict within NATO. The planning reflects broader changes in Germany, which has taken on a central role in the logistics and planning of strengthening the alliance. Since Russia has become increasingly aggressive toward European NATO countries after Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine almost 4 years ago. And so the document states that hybrid measures, quote, can fundamentally serve to prepare for military confrontation. Instead of viewing cyber operations or influence campaigns as background pressure, the plan places them directly within the logic of military escalation. This assumption has concrete consequences for how Germany plans its role in a future conflict. In the document, Germany is presented as an operational base and a transit corridor for all NATO forces, which will come under pressure in the early stages, especially due to its role as the main hub for North Atlantic Alliance force transfer and support. This 24-page document is classified as a so-called simplified version of the plan, the purpose of which is to coordinate the actions of civilian and military personnel, to define Germany's role as a transit hub for all Allied forces. In the event of a conflict, Germany will become a priority target for conventional attacks using long-range weapon systems aimed at both military and civilian infrastructure, the document says. The document also outlines a 5-stage escalation model, starting from early threat detection and deterrence and ending with national defense, NATO collective defense, and post-conflict recovery. The document notes that Germany is currently operating at the first stage, where it is focused on forming an overall picture of threats, coordinating actions between governments, and preparing logistical and protective measures. The plan also greatly increases the internal armed forces' role. Internal security units are tasked with protecting critical infrastructure, ensuring the movement of troops across Germany, and supporting the functioning of the state. While combat units are being deployed elsewhere, civilian structures are considered key elements of military success. At the same time, transportation networks, energy supply, healthcare, and private contractors are repeatedly mentioned as necessary factors contributing to achieving the goal. The document states that numerous tasks require the support of the civilian population, without which the plan cannot be implemented. In recent months, Germany and its allies have faced a series of hybrid attacks that repeat the scenarios described by the developers. In this document, federal authorities have reported more Russian espionage, cyber attacks, and influence attempts. In recent months, Germany and its allies have faced a series of hybrid threats. And in his New Year's address, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz essentially called on Germans to be ready for war. He stated that 2026 will be the decisive year and warned Germans about difficult changes ahead. And instead of reassuring promises, Friedrich Merz spoke about war, economic risks, and painful reforms, emphasizing that the changes will affect absolutely everyone. Quote, "This task is by no means insignificant. The end of 2025 clearly demonstrated that. Our world is changing at a dizzying speed, and these changes are affecting our lives." Separately, Merz focused on Russia's war against Ukraine, directly linking it to Germany's security. Quote, "A terrible war is raging in Europe, and this war also directly threatens our freedom and security. Russia's attack was and remains part of a plan directed against everyone. Germany is also subjected to sabotage, espionage, and cyber attacks on a daily basis." Speaking about the economy, the Chancellor acknowledged the scale of the problems. Quote, "Our strategic dependence on raw materials is increasingly being used as a political lever against our interests. These geopolitical shocks are having a serious impact on our prosperity," and so on. Merz emphasized that we need to carry out an even deeper reform so that we never again shoot ourselves in the foot and become dependent, for example, on Russian gas and oil. And concluding his address, Merz urged Germans not to give in to fear and pessimism. Quote, "Germany is a great country that has overcome crises more than once. Let's be guided by confidence in our strength, not anxiety. This could be a decisive year for our country and for Europe, a year of returning to decades of peace, freedom, and prosperity." Well, Germany is ready. The question now is for the other NATO countries. Are they ready? If you've watched up to this point, I once again recommend you check out the New Year's episode from my favorite psychologist. I've left the link to that video in the description of this video and in the pinned comment. So go ahead, watch it, subscribe, and send greetings from our channel. I'll leave it at that. Subscribe to this channel as well, and make sure to hit the bell so you get notifications when new episodes come out. Once again, Happy New Year to everyone. That's all for now. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye, everyone.